possible to beat Minecraft using only a single block of dirt. And to get past this one block, a mob must spawn here first. Mob. However, for that to happen, I need to move far enough away from this block, so my only option is to fall into the void. However, when I fall down, I die at around the 300th block. Mobs can only spawn between 24 and 128 blocks away from the player, and because I had so many hearts, dying took way too long. So I need to find another way to lose my hearts. There are only two ways to do this. One is to have lightning strike me directly from above. However, the chances of that happening are too low, so I'm left with just jumping and using hunger to leave myself with half a heart. Well, this might take a while. And now I have to wait until my hearts drop to about 2 or 3. Alright, I think that should be enough for me now. Now I can save my game. And I'll have to save this world and make a backup again. Backup. I almost forgot to mention, but during this challenge, I'll also be following some rules that will make it easier for me to complete it. Minecraft. And the first rule is that I can make saves of my world. And the second one is the ability to change the tick rate, which speeds up or slows down the game to save me a lot of time and electricity. Alright, now we're entering our copy of the world, and now my only task is simply to fall down. And, well, nothing spawned, so I need another copy of the world. The mob that was supposed to appear at the top couldn't just be any random one. It had to be a zombie with an iron shovel, whose chances of survival are truly minimal. If this game doesn't want to go my way, maybe if I fall? And now if I die, then you know. As if the game should keep loading me at this point, right? As if there is enough distance to the block. Maybe something will spawn at the top, so we're going here to check on Sinra if it works. The idea I came up with was pretty smart, or at least that's what I thought. The distance from the spawn block when I had the screen open in the void was enough for a mob to spawn at the very top. However, when I tested it on another world, it didn't work. So I had to go back to my jumping again, from the block into the void. After more than 100 attempts of jumping into the void and not even a single mob spawning, I came up with the idea to increase the server's tick rate. This way, I wouldn't have to create new copies of my world because the void would kill me with a single hit in a fraction of a second, saving me time. And because of that, there's a good chance that maybe something will spawn soon. Hopefully. Not this time either. Oh, it started to snow. This is actually a very useful thing because this snow... This will be our next item, but first we need to get a shovel from a zombie. In many, and I mean really many of my deaths. Finally, the first mob appeared. Oh, I found... There was something. There was a spider. Oh, No. Alright, I have an idea. No, but I can't do anything because I respawn and die. But I have an idea because if I now go back to the main menu and then enter this world again, the tick rate should be normal. It's normal. Tick rate, hi, first mob you. You have no idea how happy I am right now. My idea to leave my world and then rejoin it was brilliant. If a zombie with an iron shovel finally spawns, it won't. It kept killing me endlessly and I'll be able to get rid of it. After several more attempts and deaths, another mob finally appeared, but it was just an Enderman. Hey, but a moment later, a zombie appeared and I had high hopes, but it turned out to be just a baby zombie in leather armor. Then a skeleton showed up, and after that there was a ton of other mobs that just kept killing me as well. But not once was it a zombie with an iron shovel, until finally... Do we have something? Some kind of zombie? Alright, let's see what he's got. He's got a shovel. Okay, I can't believe it. He's completely with a shovel finally, okay? I need to save this world now, and I'll just keep pasting it until he finally drops the shovel for me, right? At the moment when I had the zombie, I had to wait until daytime, because if I tried to kill him now, he would just fall into the void. I had to keep leaving and re-entering my world, because for the first 2 seconds you're invincible in Minecraft, and thanks to that, the zombie couldn't hit me. When day came, I had to count to 19 as he was burning so that I could land the final blow myself, because if he burned to death, I wouldn't get the chance for him to drop anything. A shovel. Alright, now we just have to kill him. No, I didn't make it in time. On the first try, I didn't get an iron shovel, nor on many of the following attempts, but finally, the moment came. We got the shovel. This was like the 20th try, so it wasn't too bad. It has 66 durability, that's pretty okay. And now let's collect our first snow. The moment I picked up the first snowball, I had to wait for a snowstorm, because by collecting 4 snowballs, we're able to craft a snow block, which will let me expand my island, something that's essential to beating Minecraft. And I came up with the idea to use tick rate changes to speed up the snowstorm. This way we don't have to wait for a snowstorm. It should only take a moment. At least that's what I'm hoping, right? Maybe we should leave a bigger one? Where is the snowstorm? Oh, there it is. We've got it. Okay, please. Snow. Yes, we've got it. Okay, we have 2 snowballs, 3 snowballs. Okay, it's okay. We have 3 snowballs. It's okay. We've got this, ladies and gentlemen. The 4th snowball. I finally got the 4th snowball, which allowed me to craft a snow block. Next, I had to keep repeating the process of collecting snowballs, then turning them into blocks, and finally expanding the island. It took me a really long time, but finally the moment came when the island was looking much better, and on top of that, my shovel was about to break. Now I have to build the biggest platform I can in front of me, because I'm waiting for winter foxes to spawn. They only have a 1% chance of spawning with an emerald. Exactly. Our next goal on the list was to get a snow fox, but specifically one that would be holding an emerald in its mouth, which will really come in handy in the next stage. There's a very low chance of that happening. However, it turned out that I had to put our plans on hold, because the island was too small for any mob to spawn from one end to the other, including our fox. So once again, I had to throw myself into the void, hoping that a zombie with an iron shovel would spawn up top. However, the odds were much better this time because there were more blocks up there, compared to when I first started my challenge. While I was falling, a spider also appeared, which I managed to kill, and I got 2 strings from it. These could also come in handy for expanding my island, because with 4 strings, you can make 1 block of wool. But I mainly wanted to focus on the zombie. After many attempts, the long-awaited zombie finally appeared. I saw there was a spider, I didn't kill it, but okay, we'll see. There's a shovel, there's a zombie with a shovel. Alright, we've got it. We've got a spider and a zombie with a shovel. I'm making a save of this. We've got it, Jesus. Now we have to wait for daytime, so this will be a bit... Look at this damage. 3, 4, 5... I can kill him myself now. No need to wait for daytime. We just need to get the shovel and it must be in good shape. Please. Get the shovel and make sure it's in good condition. Please. Alright, he's about to die, so I'd prefer if he died on this. We've got it. We got it on the first try, on the very first try. 188 durability. I was really incredibly lucky because I got almost the best shovel I could, and I knew I had to make use of it. Of course, you already know this process well, because once again, I focused on collecting snowballs, turning them into snow blocks, and waiting for a snowstorm. And so it went on, over and over again. A few times I also messed up the snow block I was standing on. I can collect this snow. Man, how do I keep doing this? However, something happened that I hadn't analyzed at all. While waiting for the next snowstorm, a spider spawned at the end of my bridge, and because the world was sped up several hundred times, which was supposed to make the challenge easier for me, but in the end made it harder, the spider, he just ran up to me so quickly that I didn't even have time to react and he killed me. I lost my shovel in such a stupid way, not even knowing what was going on. Why did he spawn on me? What's going on? My island was still too small, and unfortunately I had to spend more time on another zombie with a shovel, but luckily, thanks to that spider, my luck returned. Well, he's got a shovel. Oh, okay, alright, well, I had to kill a few of them, but overall, it finally worked out. 209 durability, that's so much. Alright, I'll finally take this snow. You know this process very well. But as I moved to the end of my bridge to collect snow, a stray spawned and almost killed me. Oh no. No, I just left there for a moment, but wait. No, I can't do it like this. Alright, I have to kill him. I can't die. Wow, he took more than 1 heart. Why did he hit me for so many hearts? Alright. I don't know. I'm down to 1 heart. I'm gonna die with this shovel. After using up the whole shovel, I went to die because there was no point in having just 1 heart. I could finally move on to my next point, which was waiting for the snow fox with the emerald. During that time, rabbits spawned for me. Whoa, yo, that's a lot of rabbits, but unfortunately... Oh, killer bunny, by the way. Well, unfortunately, you're getting in my way here, and because of you, fewer can spawn, so unfortunately. Later, foxes finally appeared. Wow, we've got something. Hey, alright, there are foxes, please let... There's no emerald. After waiting some more, another pair of foxes appeared, but unfortunately they had nothing except for their fur, and then my friend showed up. Amidst this wasteland. Looks like we've got a butch on our hands, huh? We've got one, huh? See, I really needed that emerald to trade it with the wandering trader for some moss, which would finally let me get my first tree, and most importantly, my first piece of wood, from which I'll make tools and build a useful mob grinder. However, for the wandering trader to spawn, 2 conditions must be met. The first is the distance between the player and the potential spawn point of the wandering trader, which I've already met. Still, I definitely need to focus on expanding my island. And the second is to remove them every time. Snow slabs because they block the potential spawn of the wandering trader. Next, I removed all the walls and, using these blocks, expanded the island. Unfortunately, I later had to get rid of our pig. This increases the probability of the wandering trader spawning, and now we have to clear the slabs again, because with them, he can't spawn. As I said, so I did. I cleared the entire island of those snow slabs and positioned myself at the end of the bridge to wait for my new friend. After some time, it worked. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, please, please let him have a good block this time. Please, you just have to have the bridge block. I can't believe you finally spawned. Please, please, no. Unfortunately, he didn't have the bridge block I was so interested in, so I had to position myself at the end of the bridge and wait again, until another wandering trader appeared, who also didn't have what I wanted. After some time, there was another one, and to surprise you, he also didn't have the bridge block. Then some kind of anomaly occurred because I spent a ton of time waiting for the next wandering trader who didn't even want to show up. And I thought it was some kind of bug, so I loaded an older version of the world, hoping that it would finally work. Which was a lucky break because I only had to wait 4 days for the wandering trader to appear. However, he still didn't have the item I needed. Later, I changed my world again to an even earlier stage, which turned out to be super lucky because finally we could trade. An emerald for a moss block. Yes, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. So many attempts. We've got it. The most important item in our inventory. The moss block almost unlocked the possibility of getting wood for me, because now my goal is to kill a skeleton, from which I'll get bones, and with those, I'll get my first wood. When night came, I did not wait long and went to kill the skeleton, from which I received 1 bone and 2 arrows. I made a copy of my world and was able to put it to work. And okay, now I just have to take it. Bone Emila, Jez. Okay, we actually got it on the first one, so very cool. Actually, there'll be 2 bone meals left, which is nice, so I'll make them. Unfortunately, that failed. I used my last 2 bone meals, without knowing that this tree can't grow during the day because it's a bush. And I had to wait for night again to kill a skeleton and make more bone meal, from which I managed to grow a bush with the first one, and with the second, my first wood. Oh, for the first? Hey, okay, that was super lucky. And now, we're just nicely collecting this tree. I'll surprise you, but this time I wasn't lucky and didn't get a sapling, so I had to reload my world save and gather the wood again. And by the way, I literally did this about 5 times, because every time, no sapling would drop from the leaves. During these attempts, another wandering trader even spawned for me. The trader just happened to spawn for me, but unfortunately I still don't have any emeralds. It's kind of a funny coincidence that he showed up right when I was waiting for that tree. I loaded a previous copy of the world when I still had 2 bone meal and grew a new tree, from which I finally got a sapling after a moment. And some sticks too. Anyway, we got it. We got a sapling, so everything's working. Next, I jumped into the void to reset my hearts and hunger. Every night, I killed a bunch of skeletons and tossed the bones into the chest until I had collected enough of them. I crafted some bone meal and started the process of gathering wood, which took me a while, but I finally reached this stage. Altogether, we collected this much wood. Honestly, it's a ton. A really huge amount. I also still have some bone meal left, so that's really nice too. And now from this wood, we'll need to build a mob grinder, so I'll take care of that now. After expanding the island, I started building my mob grinder, which will let me get a ton of useful items. When you kill a zombie, there's a small chance you'll get iron from it, which was now my next goal. My mob grinder started with a wall, which I had to build high enough so that when a mob falls all the way down, it will be left with half a heart. Then I added trapdoors, which will make the mobs fall. And next I built several layers of floors where mobs can spawn. I did exactly the same thing on the other side to make it as efficient as possible. As the second to last step, I added walls on every side, and finally I covered everything from the top so that mobs could spawn even during the day. When I finished building it, I just jumped down. The mob grinder started working, and I began killing mobs, and I got my first iron. We have our first iron, I can't believe it. The iron itself was for me to craft a cauldron, which I would place far enough away so that rain would fall into it, and with a bucket I would collect the water, from which I would create an infinite water source. Then I had to kill a ton, and I mean a ton of mobs again, because the iron drop from zombies is pretty rare, but I finally managed to do it. We have the 7th iron, ladies and gentlemen, and now we're moving on to the climax, the crafting of the cauldron. And attention! Perfect. Next, I built a short bridge, assuming that it would rain in that spot, and placed the cauldron. However, I still had to craft a bucket in order to actually collect the water, so I went back to killing mobs again. Along the way, I stupidly died at night with all my levels, but I finally gathered enough iron for the bucket. We're officially crafting the bucket now. Oh man, alright, awesome. Next, I positioned myself on my bridge, but it turned out I had picked a spot where it was snowing. So I had to build yet another, even longer bridge, until I finally found a place with a different biome. Ooh! We got it. Alright, it's raining. It spawned right next to me, so that's really cool. Later, I stood in that spot until the cauldron slowly started to fill with rain, and I collected water from it. I placed it next to me and waited again for it to fill up a second time. I collected it into a bucket, but because I was so far from the island, mobs had spawned there. I waited until daytime, then killed everything that was there, but in the process I also died. I finished off the mobs and went back for my water. Alright, and let's pour it here. Okay, we have an infinite water source now, so that's really nice. Our next goal on the list was to get a villager. However, to get one, we need to cure a zombie villager. With the help of a golden app, And by using a witch and to get a golden apple, we need gold. We can get gold from a piglin, which we can create by using pigs and a lightning rod, which we craft using 3 copper ingots. And to get copper, we need to kill drowned, for which we'll use water and our mob grinder. I know, it's a very long process and hard to understand. I don't fully get it myself, but there's no other way to get through this world. Finally, I can move on to filling the mob grinder with water. Somewhere around here, we should now pour our first water, so maybe I'll just grab it first. And now I have to repeat this many times. And now we officially have to wait a moment to make sure all the zombies have turned into drowned. And soon we'll get our first copper. Hey, why did they disappear? Oh no, they're just floating up. Right, but okay, I can already kill the first ones. Then I just killed them. But a creeper exploded on me, though I fixed it quickly, and after a moment I got the copper. Ooh, there's the first copper, first copper, first copper, first copper. We've got it. Even more, 2 coppers already. Okay, there's just 1 left to collect, so that's really cool. I killed a few more of those drowned and collected the 3rd copper. And then I went to craft a lightning rod. Alright, we've got 3 coppers. Nice and easy. We've got our lightning rod. And now a pig needs to spawn on this dirt, so once again, we're back to waiting at the end of this island. Then we just have to wait until it spawns here. A pig, which has a small chance of spawning, but now we just have to wait. Unfortunately, I lost my first pig, so I had to stand at the end of the bridge and hope again. Luckily that it will appear. Basically, I've been standing here for 2 hours now, and not a single pig spawned for me. And I came up with a new idea. It was very simple, but I don't know why I didn't use it earlier. Earlier, I think I put some dirt in the chest, if I remember correctly. Oh no, actually, here's the dirt. And really, why didn't I think of that before? Since I have this dirt, I can just place it next to this one, and soon the dirt will simply turn into a grass block, so I'll have twice the chance for a pig to spawn. And I hope it will take a bit less time than I expected, so I'll let you know. If you're wondering where I got that dirt, earlier I just converted some rooted dirt into regular dirt using a hoe. And that's how I made its regular version. I went back to the end of the bridge again, and after a moment, mobs spawned. Whoa, something spawned! We've got mobs, so... Ooh, we can... Alright, I've got an idea, seriously, I've got an idea, watch this. Okay, maybe I should stop burning first. We've got bones. Bob. Alright, we've got Bob, this is Bob, and you will be... Alright, so unfortunately, Stefan. We won't be able to tame him, but we've got our new friend, and probably the only one here, which is Bob. So officially, Bob, this is your doghouse. Here you have... And we've got a window for Bob. Nice, Bob can look out and... Bob, just to be safe, just in case. I just wall you in like this, so nothing happens to you. Once Bob was safe, they started taming the second dog, Stefan, who will cause a lot of trouble in the future. And make my whole task much harder, but I didn't know that yet. Again, I went to the end of the bridge and waited for the first pig, which I walled in a makeshift base. Then I waited for the next one to appear, and I threw it in with its friend. Next, using bone meal, carrots grow, which we'll use to breed the pigs so we can eventually turn them into pigmen. I upgraded my previous bridge by adding walls, and at the end I built a simple platform and added walls to it as well. I took 3 pigs with me and transported them to their new base. Later came the most boring stage of this whole challenge because I kept breeding pigs using the carrots I'd gathered earlier and waited for them to grow up so I could breed them again, which took me quite a while. And I used up all the carrots. I went back to my base where I had died and finally took a lightning rod, some water, and crafted a bunch of wooden swords. Then I returned to the pigs and set up above them a lightning rod. Now all I had left to do was wait for a storm, which finally came. Ooh, alright, we got it, okay, we officially got it. Alright, so they don't burn. I need to pour water here. Okay, just so they don't kill me. Alright, now I need to dig this up. Except it can't be destroyed. With a kill-off. Oh no, okay, I hope this much gold should be enough for me, and if not, I'll have to get more again. Alright, there's a ton of pigs here. That's how I got the gold I needed to make a golden apple. Will we have enough gold? We've got it. We have 9 gold, which is just enough to craft the refill. I'm also missing an apple, which unfortunately I didn't have at that moment. To get the needed apple, we have to find a wandering trader again, who will trade us a tree sapling for 5 emeralds, and from its leaves I'll get an apple. At this point, I returned to the base, where I put away my items and jumped into the void to easily regenerate hunger and hearts. I went back to my old tactic of going to the end of the bridge and waiting for foxes with emeralds. This way I got every emerald I needed, until I had as many as 5. There's one last emerald to get. We got it, Jesus, thank you. We officially have the 5th emerald, which is the last one we needed to get. Next, I made a few trees, which gave me more wood. From that wood, I made slabs and expanded the island to increase my chances of spawning a wandering trader. While waiting at the end of the bridge, the moment finally came. He has a sapling, we've got it officially, we've got a tree sapling. Alright, let's go grow this tree. Then I planted the tree, used some bone meal, but unfortunately it didn't drop. I had very little bone meal left, so I went back to my mob grinder where I first collected water from every spot, and then I had to get to killing mobs, including skeletons from which I was getting bones. When I finally had enough bone meal, I started growing trees and breaking leaves to get the apple I needed, which I eventually managed to do. Ooh, we've got the apple. Nice, and now look at this, we take it. 8 gold, we take the apple, and now we officially have a refill. Yes, I got the golden apple, which is an essential item to cure a zombie villager and turn it back into a regular villager. The worst part was coming up, getting a zombie villager and a witch at the same time, and then positioning them correctly. Unfortunately, I had many failed attempts that took me a lot of time, and there was even one try where my own dog Stefan killed the witch. Oh no, my dog, no dog, you can't do anything. No dog, stop, you can't kill her. No, he killed her. Yes, Stefan ruined everything, however I can't hold it against him because he's one of my only friends here. But after so many failed attempts, it finally had to work out. And now, here will be the entrance for those 2 mobs. And we'll make another boat for this because I have one here, now we'll make a second one. Perfect, 2 boats. And in this spot, we'll just trap the witch right here. And then we'll simply barricade her in. And here, there will be a regular zombie villager whose passage will also block off and just close it, so... Hey, it's enough to set it up at the end of the bridge. Just hope that this 11th attempt is the one where I finally succeed. Ooh, there's a zombie villager here. Good. It didn't spawn here, but a witch spawned too, so that's great, really great. It finally didn't spawn. Creeper, okay. Maybe this is the attempt. Alright, I've got a sword. No, a skeleton shot at him. Alright, I definitely have to kill this skeleton. Okay, it's fine. I killed him. It's so good. I don't have a boat, I died with the boat. Please, let me have wood. I don't have wood. I don't know how to do this. Alright, I have 3 slabs. Maybe 3 slabs will be enough. Alright, now, the zombie villager. There it is. Okay, we close them in. It's so good. Alright, now we need to make a ceiling, so this will be the attempt. Later, I built the ceiling and positioned myself inside our mini base where I waited for the witch to throw a weakness potion. During this, I died a ton. Really a ton of times, but in the end, I managed to use our golden one on the zombie villager. Apple. Next, I killed the witch and positioned myself in a safe spot where I waited for the zombie villager to turn into a regular villager. Yes, we've got it. We've officially got a villager, so that's super good. Next, I went to check which type of villager sells lava. Alright, let's check for how much they sell lava and which villager it is. And lava bucket, and it's actually the armorer. Alright, so basically we need to make an iron armorer to get lava. He doesn't give lava? No, wait, there must be some other villager who sells lava, please. It was at this exact moment that I found out that getting the villager was all for nothing. Because no villager can sell lava, they only want to buy it, so... Right now, I really don't know what to do. I have absolutely no idea what to do, honestly. I have no idea at all, I don't know. I just don't know what to do. I was about to give up because I didn't know how to get lava until I realized that lava also spawns in the stronghold, which I would need to enter the Nether. However, now I had to deal with killing a bunch of skeletons to get bone meal, so I could then collect mass. Wood, which I turned into slabs. Then I went to the end of my old bridge from where I started building its next section. Alright, let's see. Unfortunately, there's nothing here, so now we'll go from this side and from this side, and we'll make exactly the same bridge. And careful! Unfortunately, I can't see anything, so now we're going from another side, and I hope this won't take me forever. While building yet another bridge, I managed to see, and... Careful! Ooh! Alright, we've got it, that's the stronghold, alright. I built the stairs higher, but night was falling, so I quickly returned to the base, slept there, and then came back to finish building the rest of the bridge to the stronghold. We're here, alright, we're underneath. Let's make some stairs here. We've got the entrance to the end, alright, let's break this quickly. Oh no, I can't die. Everything is hitting me. Alright, maybe let's just do this the simpler way. Let's go over here. Okay, and let's destroy this spawner. No, half a heart. The silverfish almost killed me. After dying, I had to go back to base for a bucket so I could take the lava I had placed on my island and pour water over it to get obsidian. And while I was at it, I also got some cobblestone. Later, I repeated the routine of going to the stronghold and then back to my base many times until I reached the stage where I only needed the last piece of obsidian. We've got it, the last lava. Here we go, half, and now we take the water. Do it like this, okay? Now we have to break this. Okay, let the water flow down. The third, we need something to light the portal, but actually I'll just use lava, so I still need to go get some. Later, I went back for some lava, which I'll use to light the portal, and I built the simplest setup to light it. Alright, I found a tutorial on how to light it, so we'll do it like this. And on this side we place 2 pieces of wood, and here we pour the lava. And now it should catch fire if the tutorial on YouTube didn't lie to me, so I hope this works. Yes, we got it. A portal to the Nether. Once I had the portal ready, I went back to my chests, combined a bunch of sets, gathered more wood, died to reset my hearts, and maximize my food, which I was constantly running out of here, and took all the most important items into my inventory. And I was finally ready to head into the Nether. And we're officially entering the Nether, so... super creepy, I'm really scared, I'm walking around... Okay, and this is also just 1 block. There's nothing here except my portal and some blaze spawners somewhere around, but I have to find them, so... I think I'll build in this direction. A bridge. I specifically prepared blocks just for this. I started building a long bridge straight ahead, hoping to find blaze spawners, and eventually I managed to find one. Oh, there it is! We've got a spawner. Okay, it's there, there's a spawner, okay? Let's extend the bridge a bit more, right up to it. This is going to be our toughest fight. This will really be the hardest one, so I'll build a bit more. A piece of the bridge. While building the bridge, I also made a backup of my world, and unfortunately, I died for the first time and then a second time. However, I finally managed to enclose the spawner and started the farming phase. Rods. But we've got it! One of them has spawned! And I think a second one is behind the structure, from what we can hear. Here is the very first blaze rod. And now I have the second one as well. Yes, I finally got it. 2 blaze rods. Okay, this is the attempt. Alright, I need to put out the fire. Okay, a small rod. We've got 3 rods, that's great. Oh no, everything's on fire here. Everything's on fire. Got it, killed, 4th rod, but unfortunately everything is still burning here. 2.5 hearts, okay, I stopped burning. 5 rods, awesome. There's the 6th rod! Alright, I'm out of here, everything's on fire, I'm about to die. I'm literally about to die, right? Having all the rods I needed, I ran across the bridge and now we're heading back to our regular fancy world. I must remember not to fall in here, alright? Officially, we need to take all 12 eyes. Then we take the blaze rods, carefully turn them into blaze powder, and finally craft the Eyes of Ender. Yes, I created the last missing element to beat Minecraft from this single block. However, first I had to kill skeletons again to get bones, and I gathered wood to make slabs. And I was already ready, for the dragon, so I went to the stronghold. Officially the worst, the hardest, and I'm terribly scared. We've got just over 2 arrows, we've got some planks, we've got a potion for instant healing, some swords, so let's go. And officially, here we are. And as you can see here, there's nothing around me except for this platform. And now we have to build up to destroy all the pillars. That's our simplest tactic. Now. Alright, first crystal destroyed. We've got it. Oh, I see another crystal over there. No, it's coming at me, it's flying. Phew. We also have to watch out for the spit for it destroying our blocks. Seriously, this is my hardest run-through of Minecraft in the end. Alright, we got it. Another one destroyed. Please! No, close. Alright, I'm breaking it. Broken, nice. No, okay, alright, the last one. Now this one. Broken, now that one. Well, but try to do it straight this time. I suppose I could have just taken a bucket of water. I probably would have done that. This one's destroyed. There you go. Alright, we got it. Okay, now I should be able to hit it now. For sure that one's there, but there's another one over there. Okay, alright, let's break it down, because now it is our turn. Alright, I've activated our ultimate weapon to destroy the dragon, so now I have to shoot very wisely. Shoot very wisely. Okay. Alright, keep hitting it, hit it again, and hit it one more time. Just keep hitting. It has got almost half of its total HP left, so it is almost halfway down now. If I can just manage to keep up this steady pace, I might actually be able to pull this off after all. Got him. Alright, please let this work. We only have 14 shots left, please. First shot, miss. Alright. It's got 1 HP left. I killed it. I finally beat Minecraft.